You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Now, I said last week, and I'll say it again, that after extraordinary negotiations with the contacts and the management of Doug Hawkins, we managed to secure him for the duration of the finals to give his insight into what's going on and what has gone on in the football world. And I say I've done a few negotiations in my time while I've been in the media, but none harder than to get the Hawk on a regular basis. So it is with great pride, not pride really, but it's with great
pleasure. Pleasure.
Thank you, Doug. Now, well, I'm glad you said that. So here he is, the Hawk, and that leads me on to my very first question. Are you still off the squirt? Because you said that your diction and you've become more loquacious in your speech since you've been not drinking. So can we, and you just gave me the word that I was searching for. Does that mean that you're still off it?
I'm still off it, Sam. I'm into 9 weeks. I'm into 9 weeks, and I find myself speaking a lot more fluent. And
fluently. Fluently is the
what
verb.
Fluently means?
I think fluent is correct. I think the verb is fluently. Someone will say it's not a verb; it's an adjective, or it could be it's not a noun. Anyhow, Doug.
I'm up and about, and
Yeah,
I nearly got back on the drink Friday night, Sam, after watching the.
No, don't worry, we're getting onto that. I just want to ask you. I want to ask you this. I've had inundated with people who listen to this and said, had Doug got in touch with you and picked out a car? Because if you'll remember, I said that if Carlton beat Brisbane, I'll buy you a car. And had you gone and asked Doug what car he'd want, or had he said to you, should Carlton get up, this is what I want? I think I limited it to, and you couldn't buy a Mercedes or a BMW or an SUV, but I think we limited to under about 45 or 50 grand. Had you actually picked out a car before the game?
Yes, Sam, I picked out an Ford XR6.
Yep.
Ford XR. Have you heard of them?
Well, I have. What year were they ceased production?
I reckon a couple of years ago, but they've
see.
still got some the late models still out there. They're a very good car, Sam. The Ford. You drive a Ford?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do drive a Ford. Well, maybe we could.
What else do you drive? What sort of car do you drive? Any other cars you drive?
Ah, no, not really, Doug. Just old cars.
A Lamborghini or an.
Now, Dad,
Austin Martin. What about Austin Martin?
An Austin Martin.
Yes.
That'd be that. I don't think Austin had anything to do with the Martin brand. It was Aston Martin, like Aston Villa, or is it Austin Villa? I never know if it's Austin Villa or Aston Villa. No, Austin Martin. No. So, Doug, well, maybe I could offer you a car on another bet we have this week. Not a bet,
we might have looked at but we were very close to the mark, Sam, last week. There was only one that I missed, and that was the Bulldogs.
There's only one I missed, and that was Geelong.
Well, how can you? What in your own? It's your own club for one.
No, Doug, this is what astounds me. Just because you tip against your club, I have nothing to do with how Geelong play. I hope Geelong win every game they play, and I hope they win the grand final. But it's got nothing to do with loyalty or being disloyal or not having faith, because who cares if I've got faith or not in what Geelong do? It matters not one iota. I didn't think Geelong would beat Port Adelaide over there because they're a very fluky side. They're a bit like Footscray, a very fluky, and a bit like Carlton, a very fluky side, Geelong. And when they're on, and when they're not, they're not.
And Sam, we did have a slight disagreement last week. Not an argument, but a disagreement that I said to you that Tom Hawkins, out of the side, Geelong are better. Their forward line structure is working better. And I just hope that Chris Scott, the coach, doesn't bring him back, Sam.
Well,
is that strange? That sounds strange. There's a bloke who's currently the games record holder, Sam, Tom Hawkins. He's missed a few weeks, obviously, with that foot injury. He played in the VFL. I think he kicked one or two goals or something. But I think you would agree, Sam, that their forward line structure is working good.
Working good. It's working better, Doug. So
well,
good or better. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, Doug. If Tom Hawkins is able to get a game on his merits, not on emotion or sympathy or a cheerio for his last game, that is absolute nonsense. And Tom wouldn't want that. Maybe he would want that. Maybe he'd like to sit on the bench as an emergency or as I don't know. But if the club is fair income, I'll get on to a couple of clubs in a minute if they're fair income. But if he can get a game on his merits, who would he push out of that side for the next game, for example?
Well, the boy who's been taking his spot, Sam, a young boy called, I don't know his first name, but his surname is Neil, number 33. He's been pretty good. He's been very competitive. But what we touched on, Sam, last week, or what I touched on last week, was the fact that with the Tomahawk out of the side.
Tomahawk?
What's that?
A tomahawk. I like that's good. I probably have heard that before, but a tomahawk, what a nice play on words. His name's Hawk and his name's Tom. Tomahawk. Well done. Hey, just lucky his name's not Shooting Stick.
Hey, Sam, you haven't heard him being called Tomahawk.
I have, but I haven't heard it for a while, Doug, and it just took me by surprise, the Tomahawk. Because it's usually associated with the Navajo Indians, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
The Indians, whoa Indians, not the, oh, goodness gracious me Indians, the Navajo.
Sam, so just going back to the Tomahawk.
Yeah.
He won't be getting a game on sympathy.
Sympathy, Doug.
Sympathy, thank you. Thank you.
You are off the squirt, are you?
Give me, my English has improved. My English has improved, Sam.
Since you're off the squirt, yep.
Off the squirt. Now, on a serious note, Geelong again way better forward line structure with him not playing at this minute over the last 4 or 5 weeks, and I just find it very, very hard for Chris Scott to put him back in, Sam, and I really mean that. I'm being fair income.
I hope so, Doug. I hope you don't come on here and speak nonsense to me.
No, we have a laugh and a joke and talk a bit of crap every now and then, but a lot of crap a lot of times. But I'm being serious on this situation. I just think that they're a better forward line structure at the minute with him out of the side, Sam. It's as simple as that. And Dangerfield I thought he was just about gone. Dangerfield. He was very good the other night, Sam. Is he captain? Who's the captain there? Tom Stewart, is it? Who's captain? And when Stewart pulled out, Sam, he pulled out, an hour or so before the game. I thought they couldn't when Tom Stewart withdrew from the side.
So there's 4 questions you've asked me, Doug. I don't know who's the captain. I didn't know Tom Stewart withdrew from the side. And Suzanne Steele's here. Suzanne Steele.
Happy birthday, Sue. Happy birthday for today, Sue.
Why did I say Suzanne Steele? I've said that several times because I know someone.
Happy birthday, Sue Stanley.
Oh, that's lovely.
50 today, Sue. Happy 50th.
58.
What,
not ashamed to say that.
What did you show me that for?
Dangerfield is.
It says captain. Cameron Ling is.
No,
you showed me that.
Every time you give him something, he touches something and it disappears.
Sue gave
and
me
goes
the
to phone,
phone, and she googled it, and it's got Cameron Ling on there.
No, it says
is he
Dangerfield.
Still playing?
No,
he's
not.
No,
he's not.
No,
Dangerfield's still the
Dangerfield
captain.
stood in for that man that you said withdrew, did he? Tom Stewart.
Tom Stewart, yeah. Now, Sam, you overrode me what I said to. Happy birthday to Sue, Sam. Did you wish happy birthday?
What are you saying? Happy birthday to me to pass it on. She's here listening.
You idiot.
But anyway, Sue, happy birthday, darling.
Thanks, darling.
You're welcome, darling.
Before we get on to actually the football, are you going to any grand final functions or finals functions, and have you got any tickets, seeing as you're the world record holder at Footscray? And are you struggling to get tickets, or is that not a problem?
No, I've got me Hyundai card, my gal rail. She got me the 2 tickets, Sam. So,
yeah, good.
So,
would you be going along to the grand final?
Well, sorry?
Did you not understand that question? Let me say it a fraction slower and a little more clearly. Will you be going along to the grand final?
Yeah, we'll be, Sam. I'll be going for sure. Are you going to go?
I won't be. I won't. Tell me who you think will be playing in the grand final. Just jumping right ahead before we get on to what went on last round, the first week of finals.
I think. I'm not sure how this matches up here. I better have a look at this, Sam. I think Geelong can make the grand final. The Cats. I think the Cats can, Sam, and I've got a feeling here they won't play. No, they don't. No, that's good. I'll
I beg pardon?
I'm going for the Cats to play Sydney in the grand final.
Okay. I don't know who they can play, but I have no doubt, Doug, this is almost betting you a car again. I won't quite go that far. Hawthorn will definitely play in the grand final. I'll tell you why.
Right,
they play... now, you'll think that this is a criticism and of Sam Mitchell, who is a marvellous man. They play the worst football I've seen for 2 decades. It is unattractive. It is a chipping, boring, stop-start. Not one skill of the game is portrayed except for the short kick. And then someone will have a ping at goal and they completely mesmerise the people they play against. They've worked out how to nobble the sides that might be more talented. I told you this I suggested to you last week that they lost their first 6 games and they have momentum on their side and no one has worked out how to play that side. And full credit to them, but they play a shocking representation standard of what our game used to be.
Sam, on the back of that, they kick the ball 10 metres, and they call it a mark. The umpires. Do you agree with that? They did that consistently.
Yes.
Kick the ball short, and what's that?
They did. They made a mockery of the game, but as soon as the AFL or the umpires decide, just take it on themselves that I think the ball has to go. How far has the ball got to go? 15 or 20 metres?
15 metres.
Okay, well, the umpires should err on the side of caution and say, just to judge that it hasn't gone quite 15 metres, so we should kick it 20, not pay... Just they can kick it as short as they like, but not pay a mark, not blow the whistle. The whistle against Hawthorn and Footscray, the whistle went 8,000 times. It was shrill. You had to turn the television down every 5 seconds. There was a whistle blown. It was extraordinary.
And I'll tell you what, Sam, I did take notice of your comment last week. You've made a comment on this a couple of times over the last few weeks. That centre line ruckman. They just stand together. They stand together next to each other. They don't. You remember how you go back about 5 metres and you run in there, jump and put your knee into the opposition ruckman.
Yep.
They don't do it, Sam. I watched that Meek, is it young kid Meek against English, and they just stood there and they pushed and shoved. It was just. It was ordinary, to be honest.
It is ordinary, Doug. I'll just give you 3 things that infuriate, would turn me off the game, have turned me off the game. You don't have to agree with one of them because you probably know what I'm going to say. Why? And this is not it. Why they allow the sides onto the ground to warm up before the game is beyond me. What an anticlimax that is. They straggle out, they have shots at goal, they do wind sprints, they do fake bumping, they jump into a bag and then they go off. Why don't the umpires walk out at the start of a game and the first time you see the sides is when they run through a banner, take their positions and the umpire bounces the ball? The rooms are big enough to warm up. They've got bikes they can ride. They've got phys ed people that can warm them up. It is just a shocking presentation of our great game. The fans want to see, the first time they want to see their heroes is when they run onto the ground. They say, "Oh my God, there they are." That's the first thing. The second thing, Doug, the start of the game is completely compromised by feigned enlightenment with boorish elders welcoming us to country with ceremonies pushed by a weak AFL to further divide the nation. It is derided by more and more Indigenous folk who say and see it for what it is. It's a hoax. It's pandering, trite crap. And if you want to bring the nation together, stop telling people that we are here on behalf of anywhere else. We are all Australians, and it's getting worse. People, elders who have Anglo-Saxon names with bearskins over their shoulders, welcoming people to the country that everyone has built. It is so infuriating, and it's so obvious that they're pandering. The AFL, they don't know how to get out of it, and there's more and more people getting jacked up about it. It is unbelievable, Doug. And I don't care.
I'm hearing you, Sam.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with that.
No. But I actually, the Brisbane game, the elder there was a guy who played at Footscray.
It doesn't matter who it is.
Shannon Rusker.
It doesn't matter who it is. It is absolute nonsense. It's cringeworthy. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing. That's the second thing. So that's Hawthorn. So I don't know if Hawthorn I don't know who knocks who out, but Hawthorn, I reckon, will play in the grand final and probably win it. And I have no idea. That game between Greater West Sydney...
Why are you tipping them? You're tipping them, Sam, to win the grand final.
Yes.
And you don't rate them.
No, Doug, please. You've got
ordinary to watch. It's terrible to watch.
Yes, I said that. I didn't say I don't rate them. I obviously rate them. They're fantastic. Yep. They have worked out a completely different game plan that nobbles all the other sides by... They think the opposition think they surely won't kick it there, and they do. And then they think, well, surely they won't kick it that short there, and they do. And they completely dismantle any side that plays against them. They are fantastic, but they are shocking to watch. Now, that I'm telling you, that's what...
all right.
And I don't know who they can play. I don't know who gets knocked out on the way up to beat them. I don't know if they can play Geelong or Geelong have to play them to get into the grand final. I don't know. But that game between the Greater West Sydney and Brisbane was actually how our game should be played. It was fantastic.
So, Sam, just for your sake there, Port Adelaide and Hawthorn, the winner will take on Sydney. So Hawthorn don't need to play Geelong in a prelim final. So if Hawthorn beat Port Adelaide, they will take on Sydney. If they beat Sydney, they'll play the winner of the Geelong prelim final against Giants or Lions, who wins out of that game. So they will not meet, Sam. Hawthorn and Geelong will not meet.
Okay, well...
Hey, by the way, Sam, you know who started that come on the ground and warm up before the start of the game? You know who started that?
No.
Terry Wallace at the Bulldogs when he was coaching Footscray.
Yep. Well, he shouldn't have been allowed to get away with it. The AFL or VFL should have said, hey, boys, this is not how you present a game. We want to see the stars the first time they run on, not straggle on and start kicking for goal and bumping and chatting to one another and doing push-ups. That is, you got to know how to present a game. Having said that, the crowds have been absolutely out of all control. They've been huge, and Sue just tells me that the Port Adelaide Hawthorn game's a sellout. Well, it would be. The crowd at the Gabba was extraordinary. Was it Sydney Cricket Ground? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Sydney.
Well, you want to know why, Sam? They've got so many people watching it. All the younger people, the generation, would not know anything about the 70s and the 80s and late 60s.
Yep.
Or how good that footy was. They would not have a clue how good that footy was. And what they see now is they think it's just fantastic. And
good on them.
That's close and tight. It is ordinary footy.
And it's soft. You can say it's a tough game. It's not a tough game anymore. And that's no reflection on the players. They're not allowed to go in hard for fear of suspension or penalty or 50 metres. It has become a soft, almost touch football game. And if anyone says, oh, you're living in the past and you don't know what you're talking about, I'm telling you, people back into packs now with immunity because they know no one's allowed to jump into their back or crash through them. So
Correct.
You have no fear of what you do in a game of football these days on the AFL anyhow. Anyhow, and the crowds just love it because it's, as you said. Now, I want to ask you this, Doug.
Yep.
Melbourne. I just hear this up here. Melbourne are about to embark on a review of the culture of the club. Is that right? Do you know that?
Yes, they are, Sam. And
is it about to be headed up by an NRL person?
Can you believe that?
No, I'm asking you, is that right?
No, that's true. That's correct. That is correct.
What a not this
An
is
All Blacks leadership consulate. His name is Darren Shand. Darren Shand.
good on Darren.
Will do the review of the. He's an All Blacks leadership consultant.
What and a great man, and I have no great respect for him. But if you can you believe that you've got a club that has a president, a committee, support staff, they have psychologists, they have doctors, they have captains of industry who are members of the club. What in God's name is the president and the committee doing if they have to get an NRL person, champion no doubt, to come in and oversee the culture of an AFL club? What are those people doing? Are they just figureheads? What is the president and the committee doing if you have to get an outside entity to come in and tell you how the culture of your club is fucked?
Well, what happens?
Sorry about this.
She does a blunt,
I'm sorry about
blunt
that.
assessment at the end.
Well,
anyway,
gee whiz.
Sam, you're talking about two blokes who have played the game. Brad Green, he's now the stand-in president because the lady who was in charge, she snatched it, Sam. She snatched it. What was her name? Ruffy or Mrs. Ruffy or Miss
Well,
Ruffy?
why did she snatch it?
Well, I don't know.
She get rolled.
She got rolled. Gary Pert, he's the CEO. He's got a great football background, a terrific player.
Yeah, he ran Triple M, then ran Collingwood.
Yep,
What is wrong with Gary
He's
Pert?
no deal.
Well,
That's
what's
right,
wrong
he's
with
no
Gary
deal.
Pert and the new president, whether it's a woman or a man or whoever, and the committee? Who is the committee made up of? Just sort of figureheads that get enough votes and walk around with their bloody dicks hanging out of their pants saying, oh, we're on the committee. Why don't they oversee the club?
Well, you remember Stephen Smith, Sam?
I do.
He played about 200 games. He's declined now to go onto the board. He has a background of 40 years in law, a law career of 40 years, and he's not considered to be now. He's knocked back to be a president and to be on the board.
Well, I tell you, good on the man, the All Black. This is no slight on him. What a pathetic club that is if you got to go. There's be 50 people at that club that would have know how to run a business, know how to handle people, know the psychology of sport. Why would they be there if they didn't know that? And they're going to have a witch hunt into the coach probably. Last time they won a premiership, they still had a witch hunt to him. They said he was sniffing stuff after a grand final celebration and was pissed and was out on the town. Oh, shit, was he? Well, geez, I've just won a flag for the first time in so many years, and they criticised him for that. Oh, no, it is kid stuff. Doug?
Now, and their best player, by the way,
Yeah.
he wanted to leave. He wanted Christian Petrarca wanted out, Sam. He declared that he's not happy with how the club's going. He wanted out. And somehow they swung him around. I don't know how they've done it. I don't think he still has a 3-year deal, Sam, to go with his contract. Contracts mean jack shit now, Sam. They mean nothing. So
it's the tail wagging the dog. The tail wagging the dog.
No, you're right. And we got a couple of blokes at the Bulldogs, Sam, who want out. So, there's
which gets me on to the 3 losing coaches for the game. So Ken Hinkley. So I noticed a brawl broke out in the race or in the stand over Ken Hinkley. He took some abuse. Tell me what Ken Hinkley or Luke Beveridge or Michael Voss could have done once the game starts, what they could have done to make their side play better.
Well, Michael Voss at Carlton, Sam. Remember I said you that the song that I said was Running on Empty?
Yes.
With Bob Seeker and the Silver Bullet Band. They're running on empty. They had no way. They couldn't beat Brisbane up there.
Hence me betting you a car.
Yeah, that's you were smart, Sam, there. But anyway, they couldn't beat Brisbane. Simple as that.
Is it, Doug, while you're on that, is it Michael Voss's fault that for 50 minutes of football in a final, his side couldn't score? Is that his fault?
No, it's not. I mean, 8 goals and 9 goals to nothing, Sam. That was embarrassing.
Well, it wouldn't matter if it was 8 goals to 9 goals as long as the other mob had kicked 6. They couldn't score in 50 minutes of football in a final. The culture, you talk about the All Blacks bloke going to Melbourne, he should wander down to Carlton, have a look at him.
Yeah, no, they were ordinary, Sam. And you know what I said, they're running on empty. They're running on empty. It's not a... You have to be a brain surgeon or whatever. You can see they were gone.
A rocket surgeon.
A rocket
or a brain scientist.
A brain surgeon. Sam.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you know that. You knew Carlton were running on empty. But anyway, what did we finished with? Boss, he couldn't do anything about it. Nothing. It's not his fault.
So what about Luke Beveridge? I know you've had a chip at him. So what could Luke Beveridge have done to stop the roll Geelong were on?
I thought there was 2 things, Sam, that I was a little bit surprised with. The selection of the team before the game.
Oh.
Riley West, how he never got a game was beyond me. He brought a kid in who hadn't played senior footy since round 12 in Harms.
Yeah, I remember you saying
Melbourne
that.
Player. And here's the boy, Riley West, who's played 21 out of 23 and kicked 7 goals less than Norton, who's on 900,000 and has kicked 35 goals. There was one mistake. I would have played him before 4 or 5 other players. The other one was the boy who is the captain of Hawthorn. His name is surname Sicily. His first half was outstanding. We put no one went to him, Sam. He took 7 or 8 intercepted marks, and I was just surprised that Bevo didn't have anyone to go and stand on him like they do to Tom Stewart at Geelong, who plays off half back, intercepts, and he gets sat on, Sam. So 2 factors with Luke Beveridge. This is what I suggest to Luke Beveridge, Sam.
Yes.
And I'm a Bevo man. I'm a Bevo man, Sam. I want you to hear this.
Sort of, So you've been a little critical of
I want you to hear this.
All right.
Yeah, no. I'm a Bevo man.
I'm taping this.
I tape this and take this to the bank.
We're taping all this, Doug, just incidentally. Yeah. Go ahead.
Take this to the bank.
Right.
Luke Beveridge is a mate of mine. I say that as a mate of mine.
Oh.
I've got a lot of respect for him.
Here we go.
If I was Luke Beveridge, I'd take a 5-year deal to go to the West Coast Eagles.
Oh. Has he been offered that?
I don't know that, Sam.
Well, how would he be considering taking a 5-year deal?
Why wouldn't he be? He's been to the club now. I think he got there in 2015, which means he's been at the club for 9 years. He won a flag, got us into another grand final in 2021 when Melbourne beat us. I just reckon now Bevo might have 1-2 years left at the Bulldogs, at tops, maybe. So if I was Bevo and he's going to be a career coach, Sam, soon, I'd be making contact with the West Coast.
So you're saying you're saying he should do what the captain of the Costa Concordia did, jump ship.
I think he is, Sam. Just for 1 more year, he's not going to coach the Bulldogs another 3, 4, 5 years. There's no doubt it won't happen. I think that this is only me speaking from afar, but I just feel that there's a contract offer at the West Coast Eagles. Sam, they've got plenty of money.
Who?
What's that?
Who is?
West Coast Eagles. They've got plenty of money.
Who's that coach? Simpson.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's gone.
Didn't you know he resigned,
No.
Sam? He got sacked.
Did he?
He got sacked. I think, just before the last game or the second last game.
Well, there you are, Doug. I'm up here in Early Beach.
Did you know, Simo? You've been up in Early Beach.
Yeah, we've only got crystal sets up here. What?
I didn't tell you that. So he's been sacked.
Oh.
That's why I'm saying Bevo go for the West Coast Eagles job, because there's been a lot of assistant coaches named as potential coaches for the West Coast Eagles, but they're not much chop. And you've got a bloke who's proven. A bit like when Mick Moldhouse, remember, Sam, when he was a coach of the Bulldogs, he got you down.
Yes.
Was that him who got you, Sam, the ruck? Or was that Bluey?
He got me down there, and I ruck coached Andrew Purser with Mr. and Mrs. Purser and Jenny watching me the video of Andrew doing ruck work, thanks to Fred Cook, who was editing the tapes. Yeah. That's the last time I ever saw any of those 4 people.
Oh, Sam, how good was that? Seriously. You've chucked the video on. There's Fred Cook doing his best work with a couple of...
Yeah, I spoke to doctors, said it was anatomically impossible to get into the positions Fred and the 3 women who were with him were in. And Mr. and Mrs. Purser's eyes were out like organ stops. They couldn't believe it.
What about Mr. Purser? He fell off the chair, they reckon. He fell off the chair.
Mr. and Mrs. Purser had just been made a cup of tea by the lovely wife of Andrew, Jenny. This is true.
Jenny, Janet,
Jenny, and I when the couple of the scenes came on with Frederick doing some of his best work, I lunged at the the video recorder in the cabinet and punched it out of its bookcase into the wall. And as I picked myself up and looked back at Mr. and Mrs. Purser, they had just got the cup of tea to their lips and were frozen. They were absolutely frozen. They couldn't believe what they'd just seen, and yeah, no, that is
Freddie Cook, the late Freddie Cook, stitched you up. Cookie stitched you up.
Yep, I
changed the video, and there he was doing his best work. Yeah.
Oh, it was extraordinary. Made John Holmes look like a piker.
What were we talking about? What were we talking about?
What were
we talking about?
We're talking about Mick
Moldhouse. Moldhouse. Yeah. Mick did that in '89 after 6 years at the Bulldogs, Sam.
Yeah.
And the club, we're all gone. We're going to merge with Fitzroy anyway. The club was in big trouble. And then Sam went over and signed a 4 or 5 year deal.
Mick did,
with the West Coast.
Yeah. Mick
did with the West Coast Eagles. Yeah.
Maybe the West Coast could get the bloke who's going to do the review at Melbourne, the All Blacks. Maybe he could go over and coach him and do a review and pick the. He could do everything.
Who's the other coach, Sam? We're going to talk about.
Hey,
is that Kingsley from the boy Kingsley? Is it Kent? What's his name?
Adam
Kingsley from GWS. We going to talk about him or not? No.
Is he the coach? Is he? Is he a big bloke?
No, he's not. He's about 6'1", 6. Played with Port Adelaide. Good player. He was actually a good player, Sam. And he coaches good. But they should have won.
Coaches good. So how's Steph with the Greater West Sydney? They played fantastic football.
Yeah, they did. But a side like Sydney, you don't let them back into the game when you got the likes of that. You see that mark that the boy Heaney took, Sam?
Yeah, I did.
Mark?
Yeah.
Christ.
Well, do you know why we stagger at that? Because that happens once every blue moon in our game. When in the day, that didn't happen every week, but it happened pretty regularly. People would jump over a pack and take a mark and then get back and boot the ball down to someone on their own down the forward line rather than chipping it back behind the goals and fucking wasting everyone's time. So, Doug, we're getting on to the games. So Hawthorn go over to Adelaide, Port Adelaide, don't they?
Port Adelaide, yeah, they do.
They get another home final, do they?
Port Adelaide get another home final because they finished second, Sam.
Yep, good.
So Hawthorn go there with confidence. As you said, they're playing for a lot of freedom. They're on borderline of a heap of arrogance.
Yes.
Not Lairism, but when you say Lairism, I mean...
Bit of Lairising.
A little bit of Lairism. But who cares, Sam, when you're young and you're vibrant and you're up and about.
Bon vivant, you're man about town, you just walk around with your open neck trousers, Doug. Who cares? Arrogant.
So anyway, they're going over there and...
lucky we're not arrogant.
And Sam, they've changed their song, Sam. They've changed their song
Who
for
has?
Adelaide.
Oh, yeah?
Never Tear Us Apart. They said, Never Tear Us Apart by In Excess.
Did they?
They've changed it to Johnny Farnham, Help Me If You
You
can.
said that they sang songs in the rooms before they went out.
They did. No, they sing, Sam, the crowd. The crowd is like the... who's that, Sam, that sings Never Walk Alone?
Yeah, that's Manchester United, is it? Or Liverpool or someone?
One of them.
One of them.
Well, the crowd sing it, Sam, as they enter the ground. So what happens now with the Port Adelaide crowd, they sing that song, Never Tear Us Apart, as they're about to just finish their warm-up and all that, and then the crowd just go into as one.
A
Sam,
cacophony. A cacophony
What?
of sound. A cacophony.
What's a cacophony?
It's a loud noise of sound. They should adopt Slim Dusty's song, I'd like to have a beer with Duncan. They could all, I love to have a beer with Duncan. Ooh, I love to have a beer with Dunk. They could get that going.
Plot there.
Oh, shit.
Anyway.
You told me that last week, that they sit inside singing songs before they go out. They do any crocheting
Not
or
the players,
knitting?
Sam. No. You're not listening. No, Sam. No. They're not the players.
Oh.
The crowd.
Oh,
of 50,000 join in as one, and they sing "Never Tear Us Apart."
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, that's
and
good.
that excites the players, and they get aroused. They get all excited by it.
They get firm.
So anyway,
They just get half a
what do we
fat,
do?
Doug, just the back half.
Half a fat.
Just the back half.
Are we giving a tip? What are we doing?
Yes, Hawthorn and Adelaide. Doug.
Port Adelaide, not Adelaide.
Oh, Port Adelaide, yep.
Yeah, I'm going with you.
Hawthorn?
Hawthorn are very good. They're very good, Hawthorn. And I'm going with the Hawks.
So if Hawthorn beat at Port Adelaide, will Ken Hinkley be under review by the man from the All Blacks who's overseeing Melbourne?
No, I think David Koch does. He runs that.
Cocky.
Does Kochie run that, Sam? Is he still the president?
I've got no idea, Doug. Sue's nodding. She seems to know.
Is he the president or not? He's not on Channel 7 anymore. He left Sunrise. He snatched that job at Sunrise.
Yeah. So he's still the president. He's still the president.
Is he the president? The board man? Well, I think Kenny might be in a bit of strife.
The last time I spoke to Dave Koch was when Port Adelaide went over to play someone in China on the footy show, and I said, tell me, David, what in God's name are you going over to China to play AFL football for? Oh, he said, well, we're trying to make inroads into China. Really? We're trying to make inroads into China? You've got to be joking, haven't you? That was just, what a junket that was. That's another ridiculous thing the AFL threw their money into rather than sort of shoring up underage football and local football.
No, that's right.
Oh, Christ.
That's true. Yeah,
all right, Hawthorn. Now, who's then Greater West Sydney play? Who do they play? Brisbane.
They play Brisbane.
Swans. Hey?
They play Brisbane Lions, who beat Carlton. They play GWS Sam. I think it's in. Is a place called Blacktown in New South Wales?
There is.
Sydney?
Yes, Blacktown.
It could be in Blacktown. Is that their home ground, Sam?
Greater West Sydney. I think it is, Doug.
Ground?
I believe it is.
Or the showgrounds. They've got the showgrounds there too, have they?
It says it's in. Sue's got this. It says it's in Engie Stadium.
What stadium, Sam?
Engie, Engie.
Never heard of it.
Wouldn't be the Aboriginal name, would it?
No, I don't think so.
Wongal.
Wongal, is it?
I'm reading it here. Blacktown is there, isn't it there?
You reckon me and you, 300 game players, would know what the ground's called, surely? 300 game players.
Half the time when they're trying to pretend that we owe someone, we call all the games and all the grounds and all the teams by some names you can't even pronounce. You know, don't worry. And then they change the jumpers and you can't recognise who's playing who's up who's paying the rent. You don't know what ground they're on, and when they give you the score, you don't know who's scoring because you can't recognise the sides. There's another great investment by the AFL. Just absolute pandering crap. Hey?
Who do you like in that game?
Who's playing, Doug? Greater West Sydney or Brisbane? Well, dear, if you could tell me where it's played, if it's played at Blacktown
Blacktown, I think, somewhere like that.
Well, that's in Sydney.
Yeah, that's correct. It's New South Wales.
Well, I think Greater West Sydney were stiff. So I'm going for
Brisbane go there and get the job done, Sam, or not?
No, I don't. But Doug, they were very, very good. Did they win? No, of course they did. They beat Carlton.
I'm tipping Brisbane Lions, Sam.
Oh, all right. We've got a
straight sets. They're out in straight sets, GWS.
Got a point of difference. Now, is there any other games? Got to be another game, isn't there?
Well, you've got the women's round 2. The women's.
What?
Do you want to go through that?
What did you say?
Women's round 2 footy. Do you want to go through that? I got the games.
Go through the women's football. Jeez, if I can't tell you who's coaching the AFL sides, I'm probably not going to know a lot about the women's football.
Hey, Sam, let's just turn the clock back a bit. You don't know this. Sue don't know this, but Sue can look this up. The Western Bulldogs, after our loss, we've had 2 players today want to leave the club.
Oh.
One is the boy Bailey Smith, who's coming back from a total knee reconstruction.
Smith, did you say?
Bailey Smith.
Smith. Is his name Smith? What's his name,
Smith.
Doug?
Smith. S-M-I-T-H.
Oh, Smith. I thought you said
Bailey,
Schmidt.
got the long...
I thought you said Smith.
Hey, do you remember Albie Smith? He played for Footscray.
Albie Smith?
No, Smith. Remember Albie Smith, Sam?
Albie Smiths. So we got Smith, Smets, and Schmidt. Oh.
You would have played against Albie Smith. Albie Smith's boy plays at Geelong, Sam. He was at Geelong.
I see.
The boy Smith, yeah. Now, Bailey Smith, Sam's a 23-year-old. 2021 had an outstanding season with the Bulldogs. Did his knee in, I don't know, it might have been 22, 23, or might have been last year. I'm shocked that he wants to leave the club. Something else is happening there because Liberatore and Trelaw are both 31. This kid will be able to play in that midfield role quite easily. But he's put his hand up, and I think, Sam, he wants to go to Geelong.
So you'll think I've done a bit of homework and know what I'm talking about here, because 3-time All-Australian Jack McRae has joined the star midfielder Bailey Smith in requesting a trade. And because you'll think that I'm across all this, but Sue has just shown me this on the Google machine. So 3-time All-Australian Stanley McRae, what's his name?
Stanley McRae.
Jack McRae wants to leave as well. So I think there's a bit of, I think we're going to have to get the All Blacks man overseeing Melbourne to come and oversee Footscray. He could have a full-time job for the next 5 years, that bloke from the All Blacks.
So Sam, there's two, and the boy McRae, I think Sue will back me up here. She'll know this, that he still has a 3 or 4 year deal at the Bulldogs, but wasn't happy the way that he was used during the year off the bench and sub, and played a fair few games in the VFL side as well. Caleb Daniel may even be joining him. I don't know the outcome of that. And the boy Rory Lobb.
He's going. He's wanting to go too.
No. He came back, Sam, very well when Bevo moved him to centre half back.
Oh.
And his last 6 or 7 games, he was a lot better, and he's decided that he wants to stay now, not go.
Oh, that's damn decent of him. They're going to have
Rory Lobb. You know Rory Lobb, don't you?
Oh, the Lobster. Everyone knows the Lobster.
What number does he wear, Sam? What number does he wear?
He wears a very attractive number, Doug. It's
made famous by Scotty West.
Of course, it is.
What is it?
It could be anything. 7. It could be anything. I don't know what it is.
7. You got it.
Is it? That was
Sue
you, wasn't it?
Sue just told you. Yeah,
no, she didn't. Were you 7?
Yes, correct.
There you are. Well, why did you say made famous by Scott West? Made famous by you.
Well, between me and Scotty, Sam, we won 8 best and fairest.
Yeah.
He won 7, I won 1.
Yeah, and you played best part of 1,000 games. How many games did he play?
329.
And you?
350.
You played 800 games between you.
Yeah.
Or nearly.
Jumper. And they gave it to Rory Lobb. But anyway, he's been very good, Rory.
The Lobster. Yeah, and
the Lobster.
Yeah, and the crayfish. And now, Doug, it's only 2 games, is it then?
What?
Is there only 2? There's only 2 games.
There's only 2, Sam. There's only 2. Yeah, well, of course it is.
Okay.
It's knockout finals. It's a semi-final and a semi-final.
So there was 8 in it.
Progress into the prelim.
There was 8 in it. 2 have bitten the dust. That's 6 left.
Yep.
So 2 sides, two clubs. Hang
Dogs
on.
and Carlton are out. Dogs and Carlton are out.
Yeah, and Geelong have got a bye.
Yeah, they're going into a prelim final, and they'll play the winner of the Giants and the Lions.
Yep. And Hawthorn
And the
will
winner
play.
of Port Adelaide will play Sydney. Hawthorn or Port Adelaide will play Sydney, Sam.
Well, Doug, it's been fantastic. What we've covered some ground today. And,
what about here, Sam? We've got a big weapons. They've got a big weapons show at the convention centre. 25,000 people are going to march.
Weapons?
Do you know about that?
What sort of weapons? Guns?
Yeah, they're doing some big weapons. Sue will probably be all over this one.
What?
They're doing some weapons convention about
What, you can
selling weapons.
go and buy guns? I thought you were not allowed to buy them. What do they have in a convention if you can? They're selling guns.
They're not selling guns.
What are they doing?
Well, in Victoria,
Why would you have a weapons convention and have stands and displays if no one can buy a fucking gun?
And Sam, you know what's going to happen? It's cost us in Victoria 10 to 15 million. We've got all coppers coming from regional and interstate. So I'm telling you, Sam, tomorrow it is going to be on for young and old. I've got no doubt it will be chaos.
God, strike me. And then in 2030, we're trying to get the gay games.
That's true. Yeah, we are too.
That'll be good.
And as you spoke about the other day about the library with the kids at 5 years of age.
Yeah, being asked what their pronouns are.
Male or female. But Sam, why don't you just call them by their name? Like Doug, I'm a boy. I'm Doug.
Yep.
Sam, you're a bloke, or not Samantha, but and if Sue could be a boy's name too, couldn't it?
Oh,
Johnny Cash called it.
A boy named Sue. My daddy left home as I was 3. He didn't leave much for Mara me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. But I don't blame him because he rudn't hint. But the meanest thing that he ever did was before he went and named me Sue. So, Doug.
I don't mean that. Take that back now. Maybe not.
So when they're all the pronouns thing, why don't you just call people, say that person or you?
Their name.
You don't have to say. Don't have to say.
Call
just
them by
say,
their name.
"How are you?" Or what? Look at that person there. You don't have to identify who it is. What? This is how we get bludgeoned into being uncomfortable about speaking about normal things in case it offends people. Do you know we're living in a world where intelligent people are being silenced so that stupid people won't feel embarrassed.
You know what, Sam? And another thing, you know Kane Corns,
Yes.
the son of the great Graham.
Yeah, and we spoke about it last week. Are they back together, Kane and?
Yeah, they're all good. Everything Kane's right. So
have they?
So Sam, ever listen to this?
Yep.
He's come out and he had a crack at Zach Butters. Now, Zach Butters won the most courageous award player playing this year, and his kid's courageous. He's a tough kid. He's a local Bacchus Marsh kid.
Zach Butters.
Zach Butters, a place for Port Adelaide. He questioned him not playing through pain and grief. Kane Corns did. So Sam, the main media have slaughtered him. They've slaughtered him.
Slaughtered who? Kane Corns or Zach?
Yeah, Kane Corns, because he shouldn't have said that, and it was not the right thing to say, and all this sort of stuff. He's only having an opinion saying that the kid should have fought through the pain and the grief and played. Mate, the kid's tough. Don't worry about him. Butters, he's as tough as nails. But Kane Corns had an opinion. He got slaughtered, Sam. He got absolutely slaughtered. And the Players Association asked him to apologise.
What did Zach...
The Players Association led by, what's his name? Marsh, isn't it? Someone Marsh, Sam? What's his name, Sam? The president?
Oh, yeah, David? No.
Paul Marsh. Paul Marsh.
Oh, Paul, yeah.
Has lashed out at Kane Corns' commentary irresponsible and crossing the line. Because he said he should have tried to play and he should have come off the ground and he should have been still playing. And
what was Zach Butters grappling with? What
ribs? He had ribs.
Sore ribs. He should have played through the pain.
Yeah.
You ever had broken ribs, Doug?
They're not good, are they?
Neil Baum broke 3 of my ribs in a centre bounce out at Waverley one day. It was a final, actually. And I tell you, it doesn't matter how much you try to overcome pain or pretend that you're not hurt. It is impossible to stand up and breathe with a shirt full of broken ribs. Impossible.
Bad, Sam? Real bad?
Well, it's just impossible. No matter how tough or how strong or how good you are at overcoming pain, it is impossible. And then you go in at quarter time or half time and get a jab, and you come out and you end up, they pump that much shit into you, you can run home after the game, beat the bus home.
The bus home?
Yeah.
What's the Geelong?
Yeah,
Geelong?
yeah, they'll pass the bus at wherever. He ran straight past it.
So,
shit.
he was pretty vicious, Big Newman.
Christ.
Nice man. He's a nice man.
Oh, gentle giant, a lovely man. My God.
But he used to whack a few of us. He used to whack a few, Neil. Yep.
Well, he didn't whack me, but he put his knee into me, fair enough, and the ball bounced back over my head and he went whack straight through me. And broke 3 of my ribs. Anyhow, all right, so Kane, did you say Graham is back with his missus? What's her name?
Yeah,
Nicole.
Sylvia.
No, Sylvia's not a name.
Is it?
Nicole.
Who's Nicole?
Nicole is Graham Corns' wife.
That's his daughter.
Nicole?
Yeah, his wife, Sylvia.
Bullshit. Graham Corns' wife, Sylvia?
Is that right or not?
God, I hope not. I've been calling her Nicole for most of the life I've met her. No wonder she doesn't speak to me.
So, Sam, anyway, Kane, he copped it. It's just bullshit.
For having an opinion.
And I like it. I like Corns because he calls it how it is, and he's not scared to say what he wants to say. And I like him.
Oh, good. Well, now Sue's just having one final check to see if Graham Corns' wife's name's Sylvia.
Graham is currently married to Nicole.
Nicole, I said Nicole. Nick. She's a good bird, Nick.
Who's married to Nicole?
Oh, fuck. Jesus. Zach Butters is. No. Kane Corns' father is married to Nicole.
Well, I didn't know that.
And they have 3 daughters, Amy, Charles, and Gia.
Charles is a daughter.
Charles?
C-H-A-R...
Charlie.
L-I-Z-E.
Oh, Charlize.
Well, Charlize.
That's like Charlize, what's that girl's name? She was in the 3 girls.
Charlie's Angels.
Charlize, yeah, Charlize.
Charlie's Angels.
What? And that's not Charlize. Charlize, what's her name? Charlize. Anyhow, Doug, it's been great.
Charlize married, she married the boy, the left-hand opening bat. What was his name?
Zach Butters?
David Warner.
Oh. Oh no, that was that's
Charlize,
no,
isn't it?
Yeah, no, her name was Candice. Candice.
Well, Sam.
Yep.
We're on there still.
Yeah, no, we're on air. That's it, Doug. We've managed to speak for an hour about absolute shit. So that's been good, Doug. It's been very good. So
great talking, Sam and Sue. And I'll see you when you get back here for the. We'll talk next week, won't we, for the prelim?
Well, I tell you, Doug, I haven't spent 4 hours with your management.
My manager?
Yeah, I've spent 4 hours with your management. You've got to slug this out for another 3 weeks, all right?
Well, make sure you get on to Ricky Nixon again then, and make sure he gives you the call clear.
Well, every time I speak to Ricky, he's either in remand or he's in the back of a police wagon. He's a good man. I like him.
He's in remand or he's in the back of the...
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Haven't got much reception in the back of those wagons. Yeah. Copper belts on
the police wagon.
Yeah.
He'll love that. He'll love that, Ricky.
No, he's a good... I'm only joking. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
He's in remand.
Yeah, well, he's had a few court cases.
That's funny. Sam, that was funny. That was really funny. Seriously, Sue,
Yeah.
That was good, wasn't it? That was really funny.
Sue, don't drag Sue.
I'm in arm's length, so
all right,
I say nothing.
All right.
Good on you, mate. All the best.
See you, Sammy. See you, Sue.
Love you.
There you go. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Love you.